All of Peru is an archaeological site.
How far did you say it was?
We went to the Camacho Cemetery, which is one of the 4 major Paracas culture cemeteries. We found some pottery, not as much as I used to find there. We also found a lot of tomb robbing, some of it quite recent. And that cemetery had 5 different cultures involved. It had the Paracas culture to start with, and then the Nazca culture, then the Wari culture, then the Chincha, and finally the Inca. The pottery is an indication of who's buried at a specific location, because each of those 5 cultures that I mentioned had very distinctive pottery.
So as you can see, everything is rocks everywhere. These rocks are actually originally stone slabs that covered these graves, such as this grave right here, and they've been dug up by grave robbers in order to find textiles, gold, silver that they could sell in the black market, make some money.
There's a lack of care for some of the sacred sites of Peru because there are simply too many of them. Local people have described Paracas itself as being a giant cemetery. Wherever you find an elongated skull, especially those that I classify as being natural, as in these people were born with that skull, you always find dark red hair, which is a genetic aberration. So these are clues telling us that the Paracas culture did not develop from the native people of the area. They must have come from somewhere else, and that's why we're doing the DNA testing.
Beautiful scenery, overlooking the greenery, overlooking the ocean, and I'm sure it was once a beautiful grave, and many different tribes from all over would come and bury the dead here for the last 1,000 to 1,500, maybe even longer years. And now this is what's left of it. And one day, hopefully, when the DNA results come out about the Paracas skulls and showing that these Paracas skulls maybe don't have the same DNA as a human DNA, which is because they have elongated skulls, then Brien Foerster says that hopefully at that point they'll want to research more into this and start digging up even more on a more formal basis.
What most people don't understand about DNA testing is that as soon as you die, your DNA starts to break down. So if you're a living person and you have a sample of blood taken or saliva from your mouth, it's easy to DNA test that and figure out what haplogroups or what ancestry you come from because you have intact material. When DNA is 100 years old, it's broken down. The Paracas died 2,000 years ago. So it's the equivalent of taking a DNA strand and putting it into a blender. Only 10 laboratories in the world can properly analyze ancient DNA.
What is going on here, what's down here, what secrets there are to be found.